Namaste, Jai Bharat. How a society can be made intensely toxic and unfriendly through and by the operation of communism as a theory. You can find out from the Society of Kerala by and large. There are series of examples of past and also of present. Future I won't speak of. If you look at the past, how communism started functioning in Society of Kerala is an interesting thing. But prior to that, the society already had a materialistic edifice by the way geography is set in that region, Konkan region. Look, in ancient times, Kerala is a place with plenty of natural ports. I don't know how many of them are existing today. Might have got lost. Sand must have got covered, etc. But in the past, uh, even Ashok Rajshekhar's book on Kachi Malams. Malam is navigator in Modi Gujarati language. Kachi Malams and their logs he has published. A wonderful book. He worked very hard, I know personally. There is mention about the ports. So, in those days, ships from Rome, maybe, Phoenicians and others, and more so Arabs, used to come to the Malabar coast. Now, those who come with ship those days were hardly philosophers or hardly scholars. They were traders fundamentally. So anyone who gets into trade has one legitimate principle, that is, I make profit, you make profit. Otherwise, the whole concept of trade collapses. That's natural. That's natural. So the Kerala coast came across traders, and the traders, I make profit, you make profit ethics has naturally materialistic bent. Otherwise, they can't survive. They won't survive. They have to be materialistic, which is absolutely not wrong. That materialistic background was already set in that society from that time onwards. Then comes communism, which has a materialistic so-called philosophy as support. So it easily catches. It easily catches, and they played another havoc. They have successfully divided the society into two: the Savarna and Avarna. Two sections of caste. Let's see, caste is always a very localized regional phenomenon in Bharat. There is no universality about caste. Now, don't confuse caste with Varna. I spoke about it some time back. So, caste is an isolated phenomenon, isolated to isolated regions which has no applications to another region. You know it yourself. You know it by yourselves. So, they have made a distinction between two sections of castes, Savarna and Avarna. The Savarna concept is from a given caste upwards, and the Avarna concept is from a given caste downwards. This is very convenient to them because Marx has already polarized society, well, not really physically, but in his thoughts. Marx has already theorized a polarized society by envisaging the concept of proletariat and bourgeoisie. Now Marx is all with narrations about the characters and aspects of these two classes. They call them classes: the proletarian class and the bourgeoisie class. Of course, there is also a something called as petty bourgeoisie in between, and that's not an original class. It's a midway class. That's in the petty bourgeoisie. Petty bourgeoisie is a proletariat but functions for the interest of the bourgeoisie for its petty gains. But otherwise, for Marx, there are two classes: bourgeoisie and proletariat. He writes about it vividly, and the class relations and such concepts are very vividly present in Marx. And the class antagonism is another theory. They're antagonistic to one another and they contradict and conflict, and from the contradiction and conflict there will evolve a synthesis which is a revolution, etc. That's his theory based on and he adopted Hegelian dialectics and made it into materialistic dialectics to explain this phenomenon. Beautiful dream. Nothing really real. It's only a dream. So people call it romantic, very rightly, many places. So this caste polarization and class polarization and class juxtaposition, the communists could easily and effortlessly translate into the avarnas and savarnas, where avarna is translated as the proletariats and the savarnas are translated as the bourgeoisie. From there evolves their concept of Brahmanical hegemony in later days. Hegemony concept comes later. Brahmanical hegemony in later days. So, first of all, materialistically inclined. Secondly, society is divided on the basis of caste. Two groups of caste effectively translated into bourgeoisie and proletariats. And then all the stories of their class antagonism, class conflict, class contradiction, etc., are existing in theory and which will have its own repercussions on practical existence as well. You can't close your eyes to that. Now, the society then is influenced by another source of materialism, Christianity to begin with, and Islam. They are materialistic religions, so to say, not very practically you find it, but theoretically they have this. So that influence is there. In spite of the fact, people like Shankaracharya, sometimes Kumarila, Prabhakara, all are supposed to be from that area. Shankara, of course, is evidently from that area, but Kumarila and Prabhakara are also expected to be from that area. Then Madhava, not Madhavacharya, Sangamagrama Madhava, the Vedic mathematician, etc. They are from that area, which is known. In spite of the fact that in ancient times, people like Shankaracharya lived there, and in modern times, people like Agamananda Swami lived there. The materialistic element had gone so deep into it, the dharmic activities were very powerless, though latent. Latent and powerless. Latent and powerless. And occasionally it activates, and in some sects, in some sections of the society, it used to be very active. That is how there are a lot of spiritual activities there, but their concentration and their quantum is less. So this made the society gradually very toxic and hostile. Toxic and hostile. So many incidents are there in front of you, contemporary, of old, I need not say, but contemporary. It was just the other day, couple of days before, or for last 10 days to be precise. There was an unfortunate landslide in Karnataka. This is just it still goes on. 10 days before, there was an unfortunate landslide in Karnataka, where a probably 5 tonner Bharat Benz truck went missing. Went missing. Now, the driver and the owner of the truck both are from Kerala. Now, for last 10 days, series of drama is taking place. Series of drama is taking place. It's interesting to watch. Oh, the media is so thoughtless and unscrupulous. They rush there and create stories. Maybe they want to sell their stories. They want to get their channel rating. All these things are there, but there should be something like dharma, using European concept ethics, in such activities. You don't find any of these. Some of the media people and the scholars who went and created differences and distinctions among people, they, through their narratives, offended the administration of that area and went to the extent of offending the people of Karnataka, saying, no, for so many things. They are there in the media, I need not to repeat. I don't like to repeat such things. Offended them. And they forced them to act or do the rescue operation as per the speculations of these nitwits. I would call them nitwits. These nitwit media personalities who would say, the truck must be buried in this place, that place, They forced them to do such things, but the truck was not found anywhere. It got carried away in the river. There's a river going nearby. That's one instance. And look at the behavior. Look at the behavior of the media people. Look at the behavior of the politicians who are involved in it. Look at the behavior of a section of society who are addressing this phenomenon. And of course, there is a section of society addressing phenomenon rationally. They're also there. But these people are in the limelight. So, if you go back to the roots of this problem, you will find communism. Communism creates a person fundamentally negative, because to make a person a rebel to begin with is their first step. Now, youngster who is in a very immature stage would find so many things binding him. So, rebelling against it, if you push, the rebelling tendency becomes very convenient to him, and also it becomes very convenient to the people who are injecting Marxian thoughts to him. It's easy. So from being a rebel, one slowly transcends into a kind of anarchy, then to all kinds of lawlessness, and after some time they behave like that, which makes the society and fundamentally toxic. You see, there are so many instances of love jihad, which is known to all people because it keeps coming out. And a movie also was released, a Kerala story. I saw that movie by mistake. By mistake, in the sense I was in Mumbai and went to the mall to watch a movie. Then, no, somehow by mistake, this is a ticket my son gave me. So I just wanted to relax. But the movie was worth watching. I did not know. Left alone, I would not have gone to watch this movie. But then my son just got a ticket. I don't know whether it was his choice or somebody must have suggested. That the first day I think it was released, if I'm not wrong. Or first or second day, something like that. The movie came out, which talks about love jihad. Still, this love jihad had not stopped. It's a phenomenon that is ongoing because of the this anarchic character which had gone into the youngsters of the society. And not only youngsters, this anarchic aspect of existence is gone in almost every section of society. They say we don't care, no, we want to break these norms, no. The idea of breaking, that's so Brecht and his poetry has become very popular in the universities. Anatole France becomes popular. I love this great writers, that Indian great writers, Plath, Sylvia, and they celebrate Pablo Neruda. I also love his poetries, but they do it. They look at these poetries and these great works as instrumental, and I look at the intrinsic nature of it. That difference is always there. They find it convenient, and there's a conformism must be opposed. Conformism must be opposed in toto without giving a thought. This is the extent of anarchy. This is the extent of negativism. This is the extent of that makes a society toxic, unfriendly, and many people move. Some people go there and return. Many people move. These things which I come across. This is the negative impact of communism. And the positive impact is very rare. One positive impact is that in the past, not now, the workers were looked after. But the workers, in order to be looked after, need a factory or some establishment of industry. That were destroyed by the union, and the workers become jobless, and many of them committed suicide, because they lost everything through this Lal Jhanda. With that, finished. Still it goes on, and of course, at present, you look at China, who was supposed to be communists. Of course, yesterday they were advocating for democracy for Israel, no, not Israel, in the Middle East, against Israel. And these people also, they act and behave like capitalists, though they don't understand capitalism at all, and they can never be communist in the given situation. They're neither communists nor capitalists. They're simply, what do you call, money-making, powerful dictators, individuals. Others simply suffer in the name of the party. Same, a replica you find in places where communism is supposed to be ruling at rule. They simply want to make money, they just don't care. They tell all kinds of lies to people. They have no prick of conscience or consciousness or conscientiousness to say whatever comes in the mouth. They show that people will hear and forget about it. So, this is the impact of the influence of communist theories in a society. They will go away from spirituality, they go away from dharma. We in Bharat talk about it as dharma, and everything becomes mechanical, and suicides are maximum, divorces are maximum, love jihad is maximum, disobeying parents, fine. The children don't bother about parents. Maybe everywhere, but here it is a little more. The statistics are there. I don't have the statistics, but given my understanding, the statistics will speak volumes. We meet again till we meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Siya Ram.